Um, Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm Dan. I'm the head of product here. Alongside me in a little box on my screen is Prerna Singh. She's our senior director of product. We are super excited to be here. I'm going to get some housekeeping out of the way. Just so you know, we're recording this, so you can always watch it later or tell other people. They can grab it from our blog, meetup.com/blog. But we can't hear you or see you, which is sad, but also good in this case. Questions. During most of the presentation, the comment stream will shut down, but if you have questions, we want them. We're going to answer them at the end. Please put them in the Q&A thing. There's a little Q&A feature on Zoom. Just click that and you can start answering them. And then closed captioning. If you like it, there's a button at the bottom for live transcription. Go ahead and check that off. And you'll see the robot translating what we say or typing what we say. Just quick format. We're in the introduction part. We're going to spend a bunch of time taking you through updates of what we have done, are currently doing, and what's up next. And then we want to leave time for questions. So we will try to be cognizant of the clock so that we have time for all of that. All right, I'm going to dive right in. Like many a business, we look at our year in 4 quarters. So this is the coming to the end of the first quarter. So we wanted to give some updates. And one of the most important ones is just an update on our team. Because these are the people we get to love and work with. So the important thing for everyone here, you don't have to remember all of our names and faces, but we are people who are dedicated to love Meetup, and you will hopefully talk to some of us over time as we ask for your advice and input. And this is a group of phenomenal people that we're very proud to have on board. So for everyone here listening from the team, hi. And our favorite thing, certainly mine, I think Prerna's too, is talking to all of you and learning from you how Meetup works, doesn't work. But important for us for this conversation, we'd love to know who is here, sort of the makeup of who is here. So we're using a tool called Mentimeter to take some polls today. So if you have a sec, go on your phone or computer, however you're watching, to menti.com, and it's going to ask you for this code. Take a minute and put in this code. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Cindy just dropped it into our chat. Go to that code, and we want to find out sort of who you are on Meetup, whether you're a member, an organizer. So Prerna, you want to go ahead and put up the poll. This will help us make sure we're speaking to what's most interesting to you. And we get to watch these cool little bar graphs fluctuate.
I always love the live interactive piece of it.
Yeah, somehow it's mesmerizing to stare at bars or pie charts moving. Oh, hey, Asma, it's in the chat right above you, which I think I can. Cindy, do you want to repaste it in case some people just joined? I might be able to. Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Whoa, like a tied.
Pretty even split.
This is a good. Welcome that I'm not using Meetup yet, people. It's nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here.
Exactly.
That's incredibly exciting. All right. It's staying pretty even. We're like a few hundred people, or I don't know, I can go look, but it was a few hundred folks, like 300 folks or so, a little less. So not a terrible sample size here. Thank you all for voting. Later, we're going to actually ask some more questions where you can type whole words and things.
Yeah, so don't lose this menti.com link, and the code is going to be the same.
Yeah, we'll post it again.
Yep.
Wow, this is impressive. Welcome all organizers and members. Good. We'll make sure to keep the content interesting. We won't dwell too much on either side of the organizer and member. Obviously, organizers who also go to events, everybody here is a member of Meetup. Other than these 4 amazing people, you will be soon. All right, I'll go back to, you can see how my Zoom knowledge is to steal my screen share back. Continue. All right, we're back here. So if you were with us for the last time we did a roadmap update, we talked a little bit about our priorities. And I just wanted to call out that these haven't changed. These are 2021 priorities is what we're focused on for the year. So just wanted to put them up again. We want to improve the quality of online events. They are a part of Meetup from now until forever. So hopefully we'll be back to meeting in person more and more. But I think it's an important thing that we've added to the platform. We're going to keep focusing on that. We want to focus on helping everybody find events and groups that are great for you. Whether you're an organizer, just a member, or someone who hasn't tried it yet, this is a huge priority for us, is making sure you find the right thing to connect with in your community. And then we want to have a specific focus on providing organizers with the tools that they need. So today, we're going to continue with our commitment to make our roadmap transparent. It's why we do these sessions. We're going to cover what we've already shipped in Q1, and I'll share some of that. I want to share what we're currently working on and what projects we're planning on doing in Q2 and beyond.
Cool. I'll take it from here. I, like Dan mentioned, wanted to share a few updates that, or highlights from things that we've shipped in Q1. First up, I want to talk about happening now. Some of you have already heard about kind of why this is so important for us, but I just wanted to revisit why we at Meetup so strongly believe in kind of furthering this. I think living in this pandemic, obviously, it's been hard on all of us, needless to say, especially if you're super social like I am. But I think one of the benefits of the current situation is that we don't need to travel too far to go do awesome things and meet awesome people. Online events have really enabled us to sit at home and still stay connected. What's also changed about having online events is the amount of time we need to plan. No more having to stress out about how you're going to get somewhere or what you're going to bring. And most importantly for me, what you're going to wear. Now you might just find yourself unexpectedly with some downtime and you're looking to fill that time with something to do. So we introduced a way to find events that are happening soon. And it's been a hit with both members as well as organizers. For members, it brings just more choice and more immediacy to the thing that Meetup is really great for, which is connecting with people who really share your interests or your identity. And for organizers, it's been great because it means more RSVPs and more interested members who want to join your community. In speaking with organizers and members as we were testing this feature, we did learn that the time window for happening now isn't quite right, as we were including events that had also just started. And it kind of created friction in that experience and created some awkward moments as you were trying to enter an event that had already started. So we're going to be making some adjustments here and ensuring that we're creating the most optimal experience for everyone alike in the process of finding something that's starting soon. So expect more from us in this area. Next slide. Awesome. Next, I want to talk about the ability to sort events. When you're looking for events, sometimes it's just really nice to know that Meetup is recommending events for you based on your interests. But we also know that sometimes you're just trying to find an event that fits your schedule. In our most recent feedback sessions that we've been doing with organizers and members, we've heard from almost everybody that we talked to how important it was to be able to see events in a chronological order. So we took that feedback to heart. Now it's even easier to be able to sort and filter all of your events, either by date or by relevance. We also, in the process of talking to a lot of you, heard a lot of improvements that we could be making here, and we're going to be using this space now to introduce additional sorting capabilities in the future. This is almost done, finishing rolling out to everyone. So everyone on desktop should have this feature and on apps by early next week. All right, let's talk a little bit about group search. Our previous group search wasn't great. Oftentimes I found myself going to Google to find a group that I knew existed on Meetup, but I couldn't find on our platform. And frankly, that's a pretty poor experience. So we built a new group search from the ground up. Our new group search is faster, it's more accurate, and it helps you find your groups that really meet your interests. We've also added a couple filters here to start with, including distance and category, but we definitely have plans to add more filters here in the future. Some things that we have been considering have been allowing folks to filter groups by group size and by group activity. So you could filter specifically if you were looking for something like a book club group that was meeting soon in a small group setting. If you have ideas here or feedback, please let us know. We'll be talking about how you can share your feedback in a later slide, but we definitely want to welcome ideas here as we're thinking and exploring some additional concepts. Group search is almost live. Again, like the sort by filter, a good portion of folks already have this on the web, and it will be available to folks on the apps soon. And as we have more people using search, we're going to be making that service better. So keep giving us feedback on how it's working for you. All right, lastly, I want to talk about the work that we're doing on the contact members tool, which is really honestly part of a larger, broader effort to improve the service overall. Some context about contact attendees. It personally is I heavily rely on this tool to communicate with my members. I send emails to my groups asking for suggestions on the next event and sharing like event details. And I know many of you organizers that are on our call today also rely on this tool to communicate with your members. Because of feedback that we've heard from you, we realize that this tool just hasn't been good enough. We need to make sure that the emails that you're sending out reach your members every time, 100% of the time. So we've started to rebuild the guts of the system. Right now, we've got one part, the part where you can send emails to all of your members running in a completely brand new system. It's way more reliable and the email gets there every single time. We're going to continue working on how to on improving this and making sure that you can customize who and how your emails get sent. And Dan's going to be talking a little bit more about our work there.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. We're wrapping up planning cycle. So we have another quarter coming up starting in April through June. And I want to share a little bit of what's ahead. Before I do that, we're going to go back to that Mentimeter thing. I would love to know, we'll get both what you love and what we can improve. But first, in a short 1 or 2 words, I want to hear from folks what they love about Meetup. How is this working for you? We just reposted the link, and I want to use this to center what we focus on. Prerna, can you share the result thing? This is our fun screen share. This is also one of my most mesmerizing fun animations.
I love seeing this.
Thank you all so much. This is so useful.
I love how connections is just like right there in the center.
Yeah.
And community.
As a person who works really hard in a group to do the center thing, it feels good and somewhat validating to see it there too. It's like, I'm glad it's important and not just perceived. Community, connections, people, variety. This is amazing. Okay, this will help. I think this, thank you. Free members. Yes, we'll talk about that some more. Discovery, social, ease.
Yeah, let's see some of the smaller ones too. Yeah, diversity of events.
Diversity of events. Thanks, that is great.
Activities, networking, knowledge sharing. I love these. All things we aspire at Meetup.
So I want to ask, we're going to go, we won't lose these because we have a recording and we can see them. So we'll keep trolling through these, but let's go to the next one.
Yep.
Next question. Same format, one or two words. So it works like this. Where can we be better? Please, colorful language is fine, but keep profanity not here. This is awesome. Handling complaints, relevant events.
Yep, communication. Awesome.
Virtual events. Thank you. Cost.
Messaging.
Streaming. Good. Okay. There's some stuff in here I need to look at more, but there is some of this we're definitely going to cover. Notifications.
Admin tools. Yep.
Great. All right. We're not going to cover every single one of these today because we want to make sure you get back to your afternoons, evenings, depending on your time zone, mornings. This is great. Thank you so much for sharing like this. It is, so we speak with organizers and members all of the time. We actually have a user researcher who's doing that literally continuously, as is our product team. But this is a great snapshot from all of you. Thank you. So we did this. All right. This will address some of this, and where I can focus on those words, I will. As you might remember, I remember I was a member of Meetup. Meetup rebranded a few years ago, 2017-ish, and somewhere in the process, it sort of like just stopped. I was a member of several groups then that I was very active in, and it sort of felt weird. It's like, oh, it's all different, but these other pages aren't. Prerna is also a longtime organizer. I'm sure you noticed this from running a group. Now that we're both here, I think we want to sort of bring the whole platform forward. And it's not just about making it look better. The way it looks is really important because we're all using it a lot, but this is also about how it works. Meetup has been helping people for almost 2 decades. It's just like if you live in a house for that long, you don't just need to paint the exterior. The attic is full of junk. We got to upgrade our electrical, and like something smells off in the fridge. We have a new team and we have new possibilities like online events, and technology has obviously moved a ton. We're here to move Meetup forward and make a platform we love to use. So I'm going to take you through relatively quickly, but a bunch of work in progress, and talk about what's ahead. So when you log into Meetup, your homepage, for most people, it looks like the thing here. And the thing on the right is where it's going. Some people are seeing a newer version. It's not even actually this yet. We've been testing this for a while. We've been building fast, but a little more slower and deliberate about how we bring these changes to you. And listening to suggestions from organizers specifically on how to make this work better for them and their members has been so powerful. So we expect that more of you are seeing a page like what's on the right over the next few months. It's faster, it'll be more reliable, and I think it's going to make it a lot easier for you to bring the right people to your events and to plan to attend the right events. So, and just as we're doing with everything, I want to stress that this is actually improving on mobile significantly, whether you're on the web or you're on an app on your phone or your iPad. So you should be able to use it wherever you are. And I also want to mention from internally, we're very committed to making our site and our apps more accessible to people who need to use alternate methods to access it. So we're shooting for a thing called WCAG compliance, but we're really trying to make it so if you're on a screen reader, you need high contrast, or you just want to navigate using a keyboard, that all works for you. Another page you might see, your user profile. A lot of people, myself included, I end up going to this to edit stuff often. We're tackling your main profile, the one that's not associated with the group yet. And 20% of people are already seeing the page to the right. It's just easier to find what you're looking for. Again, this is way better on your phone or iPad, so you can make updates just far more easily. And then my hello organizers, if you're like me, every time you go to a settings page, you feel like you just jump back to setting up your MySpace page. We got to take a big jump forward. It's not just the UI here, it's how you find what you want. So we're improving these pages, not just to make them more beautiful, to make them easier to use. So if you need to fix a field, you know if there's an error, what's going on here. You know how to use it on your phone. And we've heard so much feedback about like how it's hard to find settings. And so without a ton of change, we're trying to group things together that make more sense. So as we roll this out and keep going into summer, I think you're going to have a much more cohesive and easier to use set of group settings. And I'm actually really excited to hear feedback on this so we can keep improving on them. It's just something that, at least for me, I end up here more often than I think I'm going to. And then so many members, people who are going to events, especially the folks who haven't used Meetup yet in that poll, but the first time, I think this is what happened to me. I found an event I loved. I went to RSVP to it. And then all of a sudden I had to go register, and I just went to this other set of screens, and then I had to go check my email, and then I forgot the event I was RSVPing to, and then I had to like find it again. We're making this just far easier. If you want to go to an event, we can help you do that all in one page on the event page, make it simple for you and for your members. And so for organizers, I think this means more first-time members, which is great. I think if you're a first-time member, this is fantastic. It'll make life a lot easier for you to get to the thing you want. So I'm very excited to start moving in this direction. All that stuff, that's what we launched and are in the process of bringing to you. But in our upcoming several months, areas of focus, the same. We're still committed to these 3 things. But I wanted to just, you can just read this slide. I won't go through all of them, but we're really committed to making some pretty significant strides across a large part of the product. In speaking to organizers, for example, we're planning to upgrade your ability to understand your group with better analytics and group stats. We're continuing to focus on better communication tools with your members through better emails and notifications. We're giving you the ability to format your events and group descriptions. Yes, you can use bold, italic, links, normal. You'll be able to show your members what you're planning and how you want them to see it. I think this will really help a lot of people. And we're actually focused on making our photo upload capability a lot smoother and more reliable across the platform. It's something that I bump into quite often. This is all happening across our apps and our web. Our amazing engineering team, while this is all happening, is making the site and the apps more performant, more stable. It's so we can keep them more available to you. So Meetup is always there and working when you and your community need it. So there's quite a lot here. We'll keep checking in with you. And I really want to make sure we've made it clear we want the feedback. So I'm going to hand it to Prerna, but I think we can talk about how you can get in touch with us and how we can learn more from you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. I hope that you're all excited about what we have going on in the works. All of the work that you saw today, it honestly takes a village. And Dan and I consider ourselves really fortunate to be working with such an excellent team of product managers, designers, engineers, data scientists, in addition to all of our wonderful partners across customer experience, marketing, legal, beyond. It also takes all of you. Dan and I and all of our teams are committed to building this platform by making sure that you all are involved in the process. As you might have noticed, almost all of the projects that we talked about today had some kind of research that we conducted to collect feedback from our community, understand the different perspectives that are out there, and really create a platform ultimately that we all love. So many of you have also given us feedback already by writing in, participating in feedback sessions, or just reaching out to Dan and I directly. Next slide, Dan. So if you're looking to get involved, which we're always looking to talk to more organizers and members to speak to about the different projects that we have going on. If you need further incentive, you'll be one of the first to see new designs, provide direction on new concepts that we're exploring, and overall just be really critical to making our platform better. So if you're interested in signing up for a session, please click on that link. I think we'll be also dropping the link in the comments so that you can click on it and save it and fill it out later. But we encourage all of you on our call today to be signing up for these feedback sessions. One important call out that I do want to make is that, especially for the organizers that are on our call today, we're very much eager to speak to you all, especially to try to understand some of your mobile habits and to understand how you'd like to see the Meetup app evolve to support organizer tasks like managing or creating events. We're investing, spoiler alert, we're investing a lot of time in this space and want to talk to as many of you so that we can get it right. So please sign up using this link if you want to participate in those sessions. All right, next slide. All right, another big component of building Meetup is hiring great people to work here. As Dan mentioned earlier, we've hired an awesome product and design team, but we do have a number of engineering roles that are open. You can check them out on our careers page on our site. And if you have any questions about our team, our company, we'll be sharing our contact information on the last slide. So again, please feel free to reach out to us. One of the most rewarding parts about the Meetup platform for me has been being an organizer, as I know it has for Dan as well. Organizers are the backbone of Meetup. So if you're interested in trying it out, we have a special discount for you for 50% off your first subscription payment using the link here. Again, I think we'll post it in the chat, but definitely encourage as many of you to become an organizer, especially if you're thinking about it. All right. We also have a podcast. Some of you might have heard it already or heard of it, but it's called Keep Connected. It's hosted by our CEO, David Siegel. David covers a bunch of different topics, the power of community, building relationships, and sharing his insights from building Meetup. So check it out. You can subscribe at that link shown, meetuppodcast.com, or scan the QR code on the screen using your phone's camera app. I can pause here for a couple seconds so you can do that. Okay. And lastly, here's our contact information as promised. If you have any questions, feedback, or you just want to learn a little bit more about our team, feel free to reach out to Dan and myself. We'll also be taking questions at the end of this, but thank you all for listening and joining today. We're super grateful to have this opportunity to share our progress with you.
Yes. Really just want to say again, thank you. I'm going to look at the Q&A window. hold on, I'm gonna stop presenting so that I guess we're bigger on the screen. I'll put our contact information in the chat too, and then open the Q&A window. Just take us a second to sort of sort through it.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for the questions.
Lots of great questions.
Someone, was it Troy? Troy Roach asked, are these features we should be seeing already on the desktop? Some of them, they're at various stages of rollout. The stuff that we shared, you should be seeing all of them in the coming weeks. For certain things like user profile, most people haven't seen it yet. Same thing for that logged in homepage, but for things like the search features, almost everyone has. But the quick answer is, yep, you'll get them all pretty soon. But if you don't see them now, don't worry. They'll be with you shortly.
All right. Mark asked, any plans on improving the API as a pro member? It's one of the things I use most with my meetups, as we list our meetups on our own website, but the API has been very hard to utilize. The answer is yes. Very much so. We totally hear you. And we've heard this feedback from a bunch of our other pro customers as well. So that we actually didn't include that, Dan, on our Q2 roadmap.
That's what I forgot.
That's what we forgot.
I'm sorry, team.
And our pro team is awesome and they do incredible work. But yes, Mark, we have a new version of our API rolling out to Q2. Currently, it's actually in beta with a few customers, and we really hope to release that very soon to all pro customers.
Yes, I see, Peter. Yep, we did at some point. I was an organizer. I don't remember this, but we took away the tools for bold, italic, colors, et cetera, in event descriptions. That's part of why we're putting it back. Also, just like everyone should have the ability to make that look great. The file storing, you made a comment about like not being able to store files on the website. We're actually looking overall at what we offer to groups for files, photos, et cetera. I would love more info on how you use it. You actually may get an email from us if you used to use it, asking to talk more about it. So we are looking at that. We support a really wide array of things that you can do when you're managing a group. And just to be transparent, some of those will change. They won't go away, but we'll probably talk to a lot of folks, try to understand how they're being used and make better solutions. I want to be careful to just say that over the like 10 or so years that feature might be around, lots has changed on the internet. And so we actually want to make it easier for you to share things and use the tools you already use with your groups. So that may include storing stuff on Meetup. It may also include integrating with like Dropbox. I don't really know, but that's why we want to talk to people, is to figure out how to make Meetup work better for you and not just necessarily stand up the thing that used to be there. But I'm excited. We're working on both of those things this quarter, so you should see results pretty soon.
Awesome. Rob Block. Hey, Rob. Good to see you here. He asked, I've noticed that many members are not set to get emailed when they have a message. So when I send them a message as an organizer, they don't see it. We covered this a little bit at the start, but very much hear your concern. This is a top of mind thing for our teams as well. And we are working on fixing the contact members tool. We have one part of it out, and we expect to continue well into Q2 to improve that for everybody.
I'm going to add a thing. I didn't put this in the update, but just so folks know, there's other parts. When I contact my members, I think, Rob, you're knowing, like, some people have actually opted out from getting things, sometimes everything. We are also looking at how to make it easier for everyone on Meetup to easily change their email and notification preferences, so they're just getting what they actually want. So often we find that people accidentally will opt out of getting everything, even though they didn't mean to. So we're working on making it easier so people understand when they say, I don't want this email or this type of email, that they're making sure the important stuff you're sending still gets through. So we're also looking at that in the upcoming quarter. I didn't highlight that specifically, but I think that will get at some of it.
And I think actually along the same lines, David Duccini asked if we've considered adding reminders within an hour of Meetup, or within an hour of the Meetup event. Sometimes we book things a month in advance, and it'd be good to get a reminder. So yes, I think we've been looking at redoing our entire notification strategy, just like Dan mentioned, and that is definitely an area that we're going to be concentrating on, is making sure that people actually show up to an event.
Oh, Gwen Peterson asked about when search is done by keyword, is it searching event title and or description? Yes, the answer is yes. It looks at them like most search algorithms. It has a formula for how it weights the information. So I think like, generally title will rank higher. So if you say the word, cat in your title and someone searches for cat, it will rank high. But if you have cat somewhere else in your text, we will also find it. That's another part where the more people use the search, our relevance gets better, and our amazing data and machine learning team will continue to improve these things. So yes, if you see a particular thing that doesn't look right to you, or you think there's an area to improve, please let us know. You can tell us directly, you can contact our support team. Those things do get to us, and it helps us make sure it's doing what everybody expects, not just what like we internally expect.
Jennifer asks, can you clarify, can a member RSVP to an event currently in progress? Yes, they can.
Yeah, it's that was a part the window for that is changing. So you can't necessarily RSVP 45 minutes into an hour-long event, but you can do that. Anonymous attendee, you just asked a great question. So I don't know who you are, but thanks. Someone said, are all members of the development team required to be active Meetup group organizers themselves? And if not, you'd like to suggest that. So organizing a group, no, although many people are organizers. It's both why they're here or they realize how good it was once they got here. But actually everybody at Meetup does go to events every month. I think everyone in the entire company goes to at least one event every single month. It's not quite the same as what you said, but I think it's the same intent, which is we need to use our own product and we need to love our own product. And that is actually a focus of ours. This basically happens anyway, because we do like it. And again, we obviously attract people to work here who like us and like using the product. But so everyone here knows, yeah, everybody at Meetup, every single person, certainly including our CEO, everyone here goes to at least one event every single month. Sorry, my reading takes longer.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
thank you so much for all the questions.
Ooh. Go ahead.
Nothing. I just saw one, Daniel Spencer Smith asking about multiple drafts on mobile. This is a great question. It's one of the things that, like, yes, we'd love to hear more about how important that is to folks. Last night, I was editing an event on my, I was editing it on my computer and then want to post it from my phone. And like, right, you can, on my Android, I can get to the last draft, but not others. Yes, we're looking at that. I don't know exactly when we would do all of this, but I do want the feedback. So I'll certainly take this single point of feedback, but other people who also feel like that, reach out to us and tell us, like, let us hear that. That's really, really useful. It's certainly on our radar. It isn't something that's in the super short term, but we are actually looking at that. And like I said, I bumped into it yesterday.
Awesome. I have a question from Jacqueline Gordon, who says, are you investing more in UX design and research with the increased use of Meetup with lots of virtual events and recent growth? Yes, we're a small but mighty team that had, and as you can tell from some of the stuff that we covered, getting feedback from our users, from our community is incredibly important to us. And we've been spending a lot of time, especially in the areas of virtual events, thinking a little bit more about what is the world going to look like, especially as things are starting to open up globally. What is the role that Meetup's going to play, and how are we going to best support our organizers and members through whatever changes lay ahead? So yes, very much a top priority for us, and hopefully that's reflected in some of the work that we showed off today.
I'm going to probably pronounce your name wrong, and I apologize. It's either Zygon, it's Zygon, and it's a great name. But I wanted to say, they asked, can you please make it possible and easier to message everyone in a Meetup group via the mobile app, as well as from the website? One of the points here is that sometimes the email goes to spam, they're not checking their email. Yes, very candidly, we're looking a lot at the communication tools. We highlighted the things we're doing to fix email deliverability and to make sure that's clear for members and organizers. That's not all we're doing. I would certainly expect that this year for sure, and as soon as we can address it, we'll be adding more tools to allow the communities to connect in other ways other than just email. But so the quick answer is yes, we are looking at that. I don't anticipate that will change entirely in the next 2 or 3 months. I do anticipate that's something you'll see changes on, later in this year.
I think this is an interesting question, and Dan, maybe let's see if I interpreted it correctly. Troy asked, is cross-promoting or cross-inviting with other organizers being considered or looked at? I think, well, I can talk about a feature that we've been working on, and hopefully that's sort of speaks a little bit more to the question, but one thing that we've been talking about has been, and actually investing time in, is a feature called network events that we are working with our pro team has been looking at and working on developing right now. The idea behind network events is if you're in a pro group, instead of creating events for every single like subgroup that might be part of your pro chapter, at a pro network level, you'll be able to create one event that can then get promoted to all your groups all at once. So on your side, it'll be just one list of attendees, and your groups will all be informed of that event. So you no more sort of duplicating events across groups. Hopefully that answers that question.
There's like two questions. They're very different, but one came in earlier. I just wanted to, Jez asked, it'd be helpful to have a personalized summary, like a spreadsheet of everything that they're going to on waiting lists for, et cetera, as an organizer and member. It's a lot to track via the current like calendar view. The quick answer is we haven't exactly thought of the spreadsheet, although that's really cool. I would love to talk to you more. So if you've signed up for that feedback link, I'll be looking for your name in there. That's actually a lot of the research we've done around making the home screen more productive when you're logged in, is around helping you at a glance and also in detail understand everything going on for you in Meetup. So I'm thinking we might have gotten to some of what you're looking for. I don't want to assume we're going to have nailed it because a spreadsheet would be cool, but I'd love your feedback specifically on what we're releasing in the next couple of months for the homepage. So please look out for that. Feel free to ping us individually and talk about it, or sign up for that feedback link and we'll reach out. And there was another one that caught my eye. Paul asked about discouraging groups from using like double registration, where there's a Meetup event, but then they make you go to Eventbrite to get a free ticket. I am also, two of the events I went to last month did this exact thing. They actually, and they even said in their description, like, please RSVP here and here. Like, I want both. They said it on both the Eventbrite page and the Meetup page. And I just want to say, yes, it's really annoying as a member to deal with that. We know we're looking at the discouraging piece. I'm not entirely sure. We're trying to think through the best way to help organizers who need those tools have them, whether it's on Meetup or somewhere else. But yes, I am hyper aware of it because it bothers me often. I know others at Meetup have had that experience. It's one of the benefits, again, of everyone going to events all the time, is we really do see that stuff. We're working on it, and again, open to suggestions, but I that is definitely something that we're looking at.
There was another question. Are there any plans for a check-in feature at events? Not currently slated on the roadmap, but very much, again, part of all of the great ideas that we've been thinking about internally, especially true as we're thinking about what it'll be like when we get back together in person or start to get back together in person. So very much sort of thinking about it a little bit longer term, just given where we are and our focus still on online events, but thinking about that very soon.
Oh, interesting. Jonathan asked about allowing videos and event pages again, so you can share movie previews and other stuff. Yeah, we're looking at that as a part of how you're able to enter stuff into events, not just rich text. I don't, honestly, I don't have a quick answer for where that is within that feature, but yes, we're looking at that now, and how to let you present the right information on an event or group page. Oh, I scrolled too fast.
And I've been like losing my place.
David Crooks asked that when will the UI of the website be consistent? Honestly, David, my real hope is by the end of Q2, sort of hard stop. I'm sure there might be some nooks and crannies that we'll miss and you can help us find, but the intent is really soon. It's distracting and I think not a great look for your members when they're with you. It's organized differently, so it's a little bit confusing to navigate through. So the answer is in a few months, that is the goal. I'm pretty sure we'll be there. And I really do think it'll help make the experience not just more enjoyable, but more rewarding, because the way you find stuff everywhere will be the same. I think, Prerna, you want to grab another question or two? I want to make sure we get you all back to other Zoom meetings in real life soon.
Yeah, I'm just looking through a couple others. I actually, this is just, I love this feature idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Anonymous attendee said that it'd be great to have a setting for time day for setting, being able to set the, I guess, the time and date for send an event announcement. So I love that feature request and something we could definitely consider as we're working on rebuilding those particular tools.
This is non sequitur. Mark B said, "Is that a castle in the background?" Yes, my background is the Tower of London. Just thought, why not get that out of the way? Felt like an easy thing to say. Check-in feature, we talked about that.
Alim Ghaffar asked, are you considering adding A/B test capabilities to Meetup postings for alternate titles and body copy? We haven't thought of that, but that's an excellent idea.
Great idea.
And I definitely would love to bring that back to the team. So thank you for that suggestion.
I want to say thanks again and get everyone back. I'm going to share my screen again to give you our contact info. And also, if you want to go back in the chat, there's a link for our feedback sign up. I can't tell you how much we appreciate all of your time and listening to us. If we didn't get to your question, we will read them. Prerna and I get a list of them all after from Zoom, so we will read them all. If there's something you want to see specifically the next time the two of us or either one of us are on a Meetup Live, also feel free to let us know that. We want to make these better and more rewarding for you. And just thank you all so much for being here and for your help making this product better.
Yeah, +1 to everything that Dan said. Thank you all.